Well, waiting on other people so we can be successful. One of the challenges that we face in business, and we're going to tackle it right here with John Hardy on 101, so don't go. Well, the challenges people face waiting on other people to be successful. And I'm joined with John Hardy. How are you, John?
I'm really well, Michael, and you know I really enjoy this.
Yes.
I really do. It's so much fun. It's so easy to do. And I love the fact that we get the kind of interaction that we get through our listening audience all over the world.
The challenges of other people, though, the challenges of waiting on other people so I can be successful, so I can get my next step. I've had this, John, with a web developing. Come on, hurry up.
That's right,
I
yeah.
need you to fix it.
Yeah. I think this is an interesting area that businesses need to understand, that you face challenges. And what I want to do is illustrate today is just pick some topics that I know my clients have faced, and they've told me, John, how do we do this? And so the whole dynamic. So what I want you to think about as I share with you, and Mike and I have this conversation today, is to ask the question of you and your business, what are the challenges that I'm facing? What are the things that kind of are the disruptions to effectiveness in my business that I seem to struggle with, and I kind of put off dealing with, or I put off confronting, or I put off owning?
Well, this is one of the things, and we're talking off air, and we said a lot of people have this waiting on other people that you were saying is one of the challenges. We're going to discuss a few today, but in this segment we're going to talk about waiting on other. How can you own something?
Oh, yes.
It's the other person, John.
Yes.
It's not my fault.
Oh, absolutely. I find it really fascinating how at times the clients that I work with, how many other businesses are incredibly dysfunctional in their processes. So I'm a client and I want a product from you or a service from you, and I'm willing to pay you agreed money. And this can be tens of thousands of dollars that they've agreed to in the contract. And yet 18 months later, it gets installed, it's delivered wrong, has to be refixed and readjusted, which is going to cost more money by the service delivery, by the manufacturing to get it right. And I don't get, and my client didn't get, why they took so long when I really want to give them this money, because I really want this product in my business, because I really want to add value to my clients so I can do a better job for my clients. And I find it, I've got another illustration of a retail business where they've got their machines on the desk, and there's great electronics available, and they're all connected to the computer, all do the reporting. But all we want to do is get a screen to fit on the front.
Right.
It's got the facility to do it. And I think it's probably 6 or 9 months having a conversation back and forth. And I go every month, and I'm waiting to go this month and have a look, has it arrived? And more than likely it hasn't. And I don't get it that, you know, and the challenges that businesses face about the difficulties other businesses have. So what I do is I encourage my businesses and my clients that I work with to write a process by which they engage and to keep the other business accountable and actually train the other business on a process by which to be able to deliver the service that they should be delivering to me, their clients.
So what you're saying is that even though we're going to outsource, and so we're going to wait on these other people, we really need to be clear and say, look, this is how we play the game of business.
Correct.
These are our rules, and we're going to step them out for you.
Yes.
And you agree to these.
Correct.
And then we're going to hold you accountable to these steps.
Absolutely. Because what that then does for you is you've got confidence in the process. You've got confidence that the business that you're working with understands what is expected, and you're actually upskilling them to help them improve. Because if you get improved client base and client relationships, it means that business is going to do better.
Yes.
And so, we're sharing our intelligence, our IP with others to upskill them. Because if they do better, then everybody does better. And that's why we're in business. Not just for selfish means of self-intent that I'm going to be the multi-billionaire, etc. But, we really can add value to other business dynamics. And it changes this. It changes us from being whingers and whiners to being proactive to add value to others around and about us and help them succeed. And people want to. This is what fascinates me. They want to do better, and sometimes they actually don't know how poorly they're delivering their service.
It's, quite often we hear business talked about as a game of business, and it gets the analogies to sport, but the winning sports teams always take control of the game. They play it in their style.
Yeah, yes,
But
yes.
in business is a slight twist. There doesn't have to be a loser.
Correct, yes.
What you're doing is you're the winning team, you've got the winning formula.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is, hey, there's the other team, there's a supplier. Share your winning formula with them.
Absolutely.
And the two of you got a win-win that we
Absolutely.
hear about so often.
Yeah.
And the two of you grow.
Because the reality is this, you are more than likely going to need that business again. And if you say have the 18-month or the 9-month or the 6-month or the 3-month, whatever the wait period is where you're waiting for them to deliver the outcome that you want, and you're going to continue to repeat that cycle, let me say this, shame on you if you let them repeat that same cycle, because you know what needs to change and you've done nothing about it. Shame on you. And we need to learn that we have skills and abilities and being confident about that, because what it does is, in my 4 Ps that I use, which is prospects, process, people, and then profits, we're talking about process. And if you've got any idea about what's going on, you are enhancing your processes by which you operate in business, but you're also helping another business improve their process. And they might say, well, we've got this problem, do you have any clues? You add value. They say, hey, because you've helped us so much, you are now our A client, we're going to give you this service, we'll personally deliver, or we'll give you a better value, or you'll get this bonus, or we'll send you this, or we'll put somebody into your business to help you. There's lots of things that people want to do because they really, really, really appreciate the help that we actually bring them.
It really comes, and one of my values is always to treat suppliers like they're customers.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing. You're saying, hold on, if this was a customer, would you go out of your way? Would you explain? Would you document? Of course you would.
Absolutely.
So there's no difference with a supplier.
Yep.
Has this been one of the biggest takeaways you've had on the people that struggle and say, look, I'm waiting on other people, taking control of the process? And you being, is that one of your biggest takeaways from this?
Well, I find it's just so important because it stops the whinging and the whining. It helps them change the way they think about business. But it also demands of them to be better. And if businesses grow and get better, they are actually adding value to everything that they do. So I think it's a really powerful dynamic because it's just the fundamental of follow-up. I learned early on in business when I didn't follow up a key client, and they are a large client now in my area, multifaceted, and I have never really pushed hard into that situation, and I failed them and I failed my business simply because I didn't follow up into that context. And we still get on well. He's a great guy, got a good business, likes me, I like him, but I damaged that opportunity. It might come down in future, I don't know, because we're still in good relationships. But I've been in business now almost 15 years, and this was very early on in those 15 years.
Yeah.
And so you learn lessons and the power of follow-up. And what I've done is transfer that to not just following up a client, but following up and engaging with anybody that's engaged with you and adding value. I think in the business world, when we go into this business world of thinking, I'm going to buy clients by discounting, people don't want that. You know, discounting is everywhere, and we now see in shops where they're discounting the whole year. They're on sale the whole year. It just is of no value now. It just does not work.
No.
Yet when we go on the flip side and actually look at the whole dynamic of adding value, that's the power.
It's fascinating, and we're talking about the challenges in this particular
Yes, we are.
series.
Yes.
In this series, we're talking about the challenges businesses face. Today, we've talked about waiting on other people.
Yes.
And the number one takeaway is you take control with
Absolutely.
the process.
Absolutely.
And we hope you'll stay tuned for our next part in this series on taking control
Absolutely.
and dealing with the challenges
Absolutely.
of business. I'm Michael Worthington with
John Hardy, and we'll be back in just a short while.